This is Mary Jane of Alaska Stories.
And this is Mike. In this edition, we're looking at the Richard Dick Proenneke story. He made his home in the wilderness of Alaska. At the age of 51, he lived alone for around 31 years, from 1968 to 1999. His home was a log cabin that he built at Twin Lakes in Alaska. Twin Lakes is about 150 to 200 miles southwest of Anchorage. It's located in the deep wilderness of Lake Clark National Park and Reserve.
Who was Dick Proenneke? He was of German descent and was born in Primrose, Iowa in 1916. Having quit high school, he was a self-educated man. He was a naturalist and conservationist. During his years in the wilderness, he also kept journals, took photographs, and filmed the surrounding area and wildlife. Besides his journals, Proenneke had a wind-up 16mm Bolex camera and a tripod. With that setup, he could start filming and then walk into the shot. For that reason, a lot of film was shot all around his cabin and the Twin Lakes area that includes footage of Proenneke.
He first came to Alaska in 1950 and went to Shuyak Island, located about 54 air miles north of the city of Kodiak. At some point, a friend and the friend's wife invited Proenneke to be their guest at their cabin in the Twin Lakes area of Lake Clark National Park and Reserve. Around 1968, the park permitted Proenneke to build his own cabin in the area. A skilled carpenter, Proenneke's cabin is noted for its handmade craftsmanship. He also used his 16mm camera setup to film himself while building his cabin. Proenneke also built most of the furnishings for his cabin.
What did he do in Twin Lakes? He fished and hunted. He also gathered and raised much of his own food. However, sometimes he had supplies flown in.
Proenneke had this to say about his life. I have found that some of the simplest things have given me the most pleasure. They didn't cost me a lot of money either. They just worked on my senses. Did you ever pick very large blueberries after a summer rain? Walk through a grove of cottonwoods open like a park and see the blue sky beyond the shimmering gold of the leaves? Pull on dry woolen socks after you've peeled off the wet ones? Come in out of the sub-zero and shiver yourself warm in front of a wood fire? The world is full of such things.
A connection to the outside world. Leon Reed Babe Ellsworth was a bush pilot and a friend of Proenneke. He would fly in with his seaplane once in a while, land on the lake, and check on his friend. Ellsworth brought the mail, food, and things that Proenneke had bought through the Sears catalog.
After about 16 months of being in the wilderness, Proenneke went home to the lower 48 for a brief visit and to get more supplies. When he returned to Twin Lakes, he stayed there for 30 more years. During that time, he would travel back to the lower 48 from time to time to visit with family. He had a close relationship with the Park Service. Proenneke assisted them by filming sensitive areas and notifying them when poachers were nearby.
For health reasons, in 1999, at the age of 83, Proenneke left Twin Lakes and Alaska to live with his brother in California.
The legacy of Dick Proenneke. His journals and the film he shot were later turned into a documentary titled Alone in the Wilderness, and there was enough film and journaling left over to produce a second documentary. Proenneke bequeathed his cabin to the National Park Service, and it's now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. You can visit Dick Proenneke's hand-built log cabin inside Lake Clark National Park and Preserve in Alaska. In fact, his cabin is a very popular place to visit. There aren't many people who could or would live Dick Proenneke's dream. It's a good thing we have his film and his journals. And it's wonderful that we can still visit his cabin. Until next time, Mike and Mary Jane, Alaska Stories.